remember watching that movie and being like, "Aw." And then the credits rolled and it was Evan Rachel Wood was her mom, and I was like, oh, yep. There we go.
Is she the one from The Mummy?
No.
Is she the one that played not Bane's girlfriend in Batman?
No.
Evan Rachel Wood was in Westworld.
I've never watched Westworld.
Hi, welcome to Westworld.
Hi, welcome to Westworld.
I think I should start cutting in the moments when we do Jenna Marbles quotes. I should clip in those moments of Jenna saying it. She dated Marilyn Manson for a while.
Oh, okay.
Or was married to him. She beautiful. She's on my list. Yep. Hi everyone, welcome to the Happy Peas Podcast, where we're just peas in a pod. I'm Stephanie.
Wait, hold on. Let's redo that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm leaving this in.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have to, but I think it'd be funny.
Okay.
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 Hi everyone, welcome to the Happy Peas Podcast, where we're just peas in a pod. I'm Stephanie. Oh my
I'm
God.
Molly. Actually, I'm MJ. I got 6.
I just imagined you doing that at D&D every time you have to roll. You just like
12.
That's disgusting. Don't do that. I mean, like, maybe do it once just to horrify everyone at the table.
At this point in time, I do not think there would be one surprise person left.
Today we're talking about fictional characters that we identify too much with. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. This is one of the hardest things I've ever done.
I did a very minimal list, but there will be others that I remember as we talk.
There was something that we watched not that long ago that I told Craig, I am uncomfortable because this is just watching me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what it was. And it's pissing me off.
I'm sorry. Meredith Grey.
I've never seen Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I thought you hated Meredith Grey for some reason.
Oh, no, I've never seen Grey's Anatomy.
Who do I know that hates Meredith?
I'm also never gonna, so.
That's valid.
Too much of a time commitment at this point.
It really is. For me, it's her, just kind of like her whole journey. And I haven't watched anything past season 12, and I really don't remember season 12.
Mm-hmm.
But like her relationship with her mom, and it's mostly with like certain quotes. And there's an episode where she's talking to her best friend's husband who desperately wants to have a kid, and her best friend does not want kids. Like, she doesn't have a problem with kids, they're just not for her. And the thing that she says is, I was raised by a woman who did not want to have kids and was forced to. Do not force her to have kids, because yeah, she'll be okay at it, but that's going to put trauma on the kid.
Yeah.
And like, between that and some of the other stuff that happens with her, I'm just like, oh damn.
One of the first ones that I thought of immediately was Tracy from 13.
Never watched 13.
Speaking of Evan Rachel Wood, it's so that was my watch.
Oh.
It makes bird noises every hour. Bird fact, go.
Birds' feathers are hollow, and so are their bones.
Their feathers are hollow?
Yeah.
Oh. I knew their bones were
like,
hollow.
Not like the fiber, like the part that
like
goes,
the
things that you
quill
pluck.
part?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hollow.
Cool.
That's why people used to write with them.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, sorry, there's a dog under there. So the movie is written by Nikki Reed. It's about her life. She's like this kind of goody two-shoe, I don't want to put it that way, but she's this very like people pleaser, good grades, studies hard, kind of a dork. Meets this girl in school that's like cool and edgy and a little skanky and falls into that lifestyle. She starts using drugs, and I think she had always self-harmed.
Mhm.
And you just kind of see that a little bit as she starts hanging out with the girl. And then her life falls apart and kind of implodes. And my mom was very concerned that I liked that movie as much as I did, because there were certain parts of it that so closely mirrored our actual life.
Mhm.
I wasn't like using drugs and stuff, but I was
Self-harm.
self-harming, and the dynamic between the mom and her boyfriend and the mom and the daughter and all that like was very similar to what we had.
Shouldn't that have been like a red flag in your mom's mind that maybe she should have changed from something?
I mean, I think by the time we watched that, I showed the friend that showed me the movie was like, "You showed that to your mom? Are you insane?" And I was like, "Well, there was some MySpace survey that asked what your favorite movie was, and I put 13, and my aunt saw it, and my aunt told my mom, and my mom was like, we have to watch this movie." And then my mom, I think, just felt horrible because I'm sure that it wasn't past. I'm sure my mom wasn't like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
There's no deeper meaning to her obsession with this movie whatsoever. Then she was like, "Are you on drugs?" And I was like, "No, I go to freaking meetings with you, Mom. That'd be dumb." I'm like, "I have a shirt that says boozers or losers." No. Who else is on your list?
That's not the app that
Also,
I'm on.
her life in 13 goes way farther than my life did.
Oh, Lorelai is on mine.
Mm-hmm.
The way that she talks about her love life, and especially in that one episode where she's on the phone and she's crying and she's saying that she's not meant to have a love of her life and she doesn't feel like she's ever gonna have that love. Boy, did I feel that very hard. And I was like, this is too real for me. So
I put Lorelai on mine, but then I was like, that's just because that's the kind of mom you want to be. You want to be like the cool mom. And then I put Suki on my list, and I was like, nah, not really though. Like, I identify with Suki a little bit because she's like quirky and weird, but also like Suki is more. This is why I really struggled with the list, as I was just like picking out personality traits that I recognized, and so there's a lot of traits that Suki has that I'm like, oh, me too. But there's also a lot that I'm like, no, not at all.
when I watch it, I'm like, maybe I'm just a combination of Lorelai and Luke, because anytime that like when someone brings up like Thanksgiving or something like that,
his rants
are
so good.
When he's like, oh yeah, we got a lot to be thankful for, living on stolen land, just I'm like, oh yeah.
My Suki became Penelope from Criminal Minds.
I haven't watched that.
She's also like real quirky. Her hair is all crazy. She was like a criminal hacker that was recruited by the FBI. Her office is full of all this like kooky shit, so that she doesn't get bogged down in the seriousness of her job.
Valid.
And she like has inappropriate banter with her coworkers, and then gets real serious about her work really quickly. And I was like, I identify with Penelope Garcia so much. I think the only one that I think is unhealthy is probably Tracy, but there's a couple other ones on here. Oh, there's one that I just wrote to Wanda. I'll explain it when we get there.
Okay. One of my other ones is Quentin Coldwater from The Magicians, the show specifically, because he has a very different ending in the books than he does in the show. Also, I don't know if you care about spoilers. So Quentin in the show...
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah. Quentin in the show dies, saving Alice and Penny and killing someone else. And after he dies and he goes to the afterlife, he meets with a different Penny and asks him... And this line I can relate to so well, but anytime I watch it, it'll make me cry the hardest I've ever cried. he says, "Did I finally do it? Or did I die saving my friends?"
Hmm.
And I'm just like, oh, that's too much.
Hmm.
And like that whole like him as a character I can very much relate to, but also that specific line, every time I hear it, I just like fall apart because I understand.
Yeah.
So
I have two from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I have Amy,
yeah.
which upsets me greatly. I don't want to be like Amy, but I do have so many binders, and I do like to color coordinate things, and
Also your work ethic.
I like to organize, and Amy's a Capricorn,
Yeah.
so yeah, I
Who's the other one?
boil.
Is that why we're such good friends? Because the two that I feel like I am are Rosa, and then after you get to know me, Peralta.
You know who I want to be like? You know who I want to identify with is Gina. But I don't. I definitely, like, when Craig told me, like, when she's like, I got a new binder this weekend, I was like, she's so irritating. And Craig goes, you know that's you, right? And I'm pretty sure I texted you, and it was like, Craig just said I'm Amy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And you were like, oh my god, you totally are! I was like, because she drives me crazy, but she probably is all of the traits of me that I find so irritating about myself. And Boyle, I'm not always like Boyle, okay? But I also, like, sometimes I really am.
Gobble gobble.
I would totally show up to work in like a big turkey costume. And sometimes I say things that are like inappropriate puns and I don't mean to.
I think it's hilarious that the two characters you feel like you are best friends to the two characters I feel like I am. Because like I feel like I give off a very Rosa vibe when you first get to know me, but then you meet me and I'm just a silly little immature bitch.
But in all fairness, Rosa is also really soft under her leather jacket.
Yeah. But
then she holds a knife to your throat and is like, don't ever tell anybody.
I would absolutely do that. But Rosa also wouldn't put a dice in her mouth and spit it out. But Jake absolutely would.
Yeah, he would. And Amy would be like, don't do that! So, you know.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought of another one.
Oh, okay, go.
No, it's your turn.
Oh, if like, so Superstore.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't watched that, you and Craig absolutely need to watch it. I am somewhere between Garrett and probably no, not Cheyenne. Garrett and somebody else. But there's a quote that Garrett says. That is, I do just enough to not get fired. It's me.
So to really opposite that, to just go the 180, just polar the other side, the one that I thought of when I snapped my fingers was Leslie Knope.
I love Leslie.
I do feel like I don't want to say any main characters from a show though, because like, do I have main character syndrome or what? But like, or I'm like, am I the Tom? I'm not the Tom.
No, you're definitely the Leslie. I would
not mind being called the Donna.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with the Donna.
When Craig and I worked together, I always thought that he was the Ron Swanson to my April Ludgate.
Yes. Yeah, both of those are true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You're nasty.
And I'm the Leslie Knope in that situation. Okay, it's your turn again.
I gotta think.
She just occurred to me all of a sudden.
If we're going into anime,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say very, very lightly Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. And it's like his willingness to put his friends before him, but also how after he is very traumatized, the way he acts and how he does things is very I can relate to very hard. But also on that note, I don't have DID. I do have a dissociative disorder, but not DID. And I think maybe Ken Kaneki did. But I'm also very capable of like I don't want to say dissociating, but like going to a place in myself where I can look at the past versions of me and like just talk to them, tell them that
cool.
they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I wish I had that I could just like look in and find like child Stephanie and be like, it's okay, and like pat her on her little head.
I couldn't do that until I did EMDR. Which did not work for me because we would try to go somewhere and I would dissociate.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Which you can't do during
Shockingly, that's not the point.
Yeah. The point is to get you to not do that, but when you do it during, and I'm not sure even now if I could go to those places and not dissociate.
Yeah.
So
I said to Wanda, her name is Evelyn Couch. And it's the Kathy Bates character in Fried Green Tomatoes. And specifically, there's a scene, I was trying to think of like a people pleaser, like kind of quiet, timid, that's also like a force and has a lot of anger. I was trying to think of that person, and all of a sudden my brain went to Wanda, and I remembered the scene in Fried Green Tomatoes where she's driving through the parking lot. Like, there's a scene where she's in the parking lot, and this guy's like, "Fuck you, lady," and she's like, "Why are you being so mean?" And like her bags break, and she's like, "Oh, my groceries," and then my heart breaks for her. I'm like, "I bet you." And then there's a moment where she's going into this parking spot, and these teenage girls whip in front of her, and they're like, "Face it, lady, we're younger and faster." And she's like, and she just kablams the shit out of their car like 5 or 6 times.
Oh my God.
And they come out and they're like, "What is wrong with you?" And she's like, "Face it, girls, I'm older and I have better insurance." And I'm like, me. And then at one point, she's like, her husband comes home from work and she's just tearing a wall down in their house. And he's like, "What are you doing? What the hell is this?" And she's like, "I'm doing whatever the fuck I want." And he's like, "You trying to kill me?" And she goes, "If I wanted to kill you, I'd use my hands." And I'm like, "That's me. I'm Evelyn Couch." Yes.
That's amazing. And Lord of the Rings, I think I would be Pippin. I relate to Pippin, not like super strong, but I'm definitely like an idiot.
I relate to Pippin in that moment when he knocks the bucket in the hole and Gandalf yells at him and he's like, I'm like, "I've been you so many times." Like every time that scene comes on in that movie, I'm like, "I just want to hug him. He's just doing the best that he can. He just wants to be loved," and Gandalf just keeps yelling at him.
I feel like you and I would switch off Merry and Pippin, but the one scene that makes me think of the both of us is after they take down that one tower with the tree ends, and they're just smoking weed and eating.
They're like, "We did it.
Yeah.
We did it." Saruman's tower.
Yeah.
Isengard.
Yeah, Craig
Thank you.
knows.
My brain no work.
I have one other one that's not really an answer, but do you have any more?
I don't think so. I mean, like, when I think of this stuff, I think of like growing up characters who got me through a lot. But I, like, as an adult, I don't think I relate to any of them.
Yeah.
Like Buffy. Buffy got me through
Mm-hmm.
so much. But as an adult, I don't think I relate to any of them.
I think I would relate most to Faith, which is terrifying. I think it's just because, like, I love Faith.
Yeah.
But she's also a monster, so.
I don't think I would. Maybe somewhere between.
I don't relate to her, though.
Maybe somewhere between, like, Giles and maybe Anya.
So we're watching it right now, and there was a moment recently that I was like, I looked at Craig and I went, when I was a kid and I watched the show, I was like, oh, Angel, and oh, Spike. At no point was I ever like, oh, Xander, because fuck off, Xander.
Oh, no. Xander was gross.
Or like, oh, Oz, because Oz is the best. But this watch through, I'm like, hey, Giles. Hey. Hey. And I mean, it makes sense because I'm aging and he's closer to my age than any of the other ones, but I'm just like, I've never really noticed Giles before.
I recently watched The Crown, and there is a lot of, like, British actors that don't have a career in the US but have a career in Britain that I'm just like, oh my god, yeah, they're an actor. Like, there was so many, like, Harry Potter cast members in there, and I think Giles was in it at one point, and I was like, they still act.
They just don't act here.
Umbridge was in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she played the queen. She did a really good job. Her range is very good.
The last one on my list, have you seen A Simple Favor? With Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick?
Not yet. I want to so bad.
It's a very strange movie.
I want to see it so bad.
I think I've watched it 4 times now.
We should have
maybe 5.
We should have a day where we watch all of the movies.
So one of the characters' names is Stephanie.
Nice.
I went and saw that movie in theaters with a couple girlfriends, and I remember at one point being like, "This is just 2 sides of my brain." Like, the one of the characters is really neurotic, and she's like, "I'm gonna volunteer for everything," and she does like an online blog and blah 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 blah, and she's really uptight, and all the other moms make fun of her. And then the other one is like, could not care less. She's like, if you touch that washcloth, I'll fucking kill you. Those are me. Those are 2 sides of my personality. That's like, and then the movie kept going, and I was like, oh no, I'm neither of these people. But in the beginning of the movie, I was like, well, this is kind of weird. I am both of these people.
I have not watched that one, but I did watch Age of Adeline, and that one was
cute. I did ask Craig, spoilers. So I did ask Craig, I was like, hey, so we start dating. You fall in love with me. And I'm like, yeah, I want to meet your family. And you take me home. And your dad starts being real weird. And then you find out that I'm like an ageless kind of time traveler and I fucked your dad. Would you be okay with that? He was like, no, not at all. And I was like, that is the right answer.
Yeah.
The fact that he's just like, it's cool that my dad was in love with you and now I'm in love with you and everything's normal.
I would be like, I'm not putting my dick in something my dad put his dick in.
Yeah, I was like,
no.
Yeah. Wrong, incorrect, sir.
That is not the right answer. Please try again.
Yeah, I think that's all I had.
I do want to know who you think you would be in Game of Thrones.
Who I would be in Game of Thrones? Oh, Jesus. I felt okay. So don't come for me. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, or email or subreddit. Heyo, happypeaspod@gmail.com r/happypeaspod. Anyway, but I had a lot of sympathy for Cersei, and like a lot longer than I should have. Like,
I've never read the books.
Like season 3, maybe. I was still like, well, I mean, her husband doesn't love her, and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, honey, they were fucking long before that.
Well, not even just her and Jamie, but it was just like, the whole situation. I was like, but all she really has are her kids, and I carried a lot of sympathy for Cersei for far longer than I should have. I mean, Marjorie was my favorite. Marjorie, I was gonna say it's everyone's favorite, but that's not necessarily true.
Jon Snow is my favorite. I still have that Funko Pop you gave me.
Nice.
Punko Pop.
Yeah.
Who would you be in Game of Thrones? Like, I'm trying to give you a realistic answer.
Honestly, probably Jon Snow, where I just don't fucking care, but I keep getting put in these fucking situations and I just don't wanna.
I think I'd be Sansa. I
Yeah.
think I would be abused and abused and abused and abused and finally just be like, I'm killing all of y'all.
I was pissed when she wasn't the queen of the 9 kingdoms.
7.
7 kingdoms, whatever, however many kingdoms.
The kingdoms.
But she's the queen in the north.
Yeah, but she should be the queen of it all. And Bran should have just gotten pushed into the ocean.
Dude, fuck him. He was annoying. The end of that show was dumb and
Yes.
sloppy.
Yeah, very sloppy. That's another big show.
I was thinking about Bob's Burgers and putting that on my list because I am somewhere between Tina and Louise. Or no, I'm sorry, not Tina. Louise. What's her?
Linda.
Linda. Linda and Louise.
I want to say I'm somewhere between Tina and Bob.
I also think there's a little bit of Jean because I like to just make noises.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm somewhere between Tina and Bob because I get very fed up with people's shit, but also I like butts.
Whenever we watch, or I guess, you know what? Linda makes a lot of weird noises, so scratch that. I'm not Jean. I am just like Linda and Louise because I'm the chaos and also the irritating. But whenever I'm like, boop, 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 walking around, I expect Craig to be like, Stephanie. And he kind of did that to me today because I was like, and he was like, I'm working. I was like, okay, bye. Just, but I kept, like, I wanted grapes and then I wanted water and I was kind of tidying up a little bit. So I kept just like crawling underneath the charge cable to his laptop. I was like, doo-doo-doo-doo. And I was trying not to annoy him, but I was also just like, I had all this energy that I was like, I can't just keep working out. I'll die. I worked out for 80 minutes today, and I'm like, if I keep working out, I will just dissolve into dust.
Sometimes I just imagine you as the R2D2 like what noise.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Craig, what is my Tiny Tina? What's my is the running, I'm running over here. Run. Is that the ringtone?
No, it's the la 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 la.
And then the text one is hi.
Yeah.
And they both feel very appropriate for me. I quoted I quoted Bravest Warriors today. We were talking about the quesadillas.
Adventure Time.
Yes.
Who would you be?
Bimo. I feel like that is a very honest answer because Bimo's just like, he just like exists. I'm not Finn. I'm not Jake. Like, maybe Fire Princess because boy, she's got a temper. But, yeah, Bimo is just playing imagination. So I'm either Bimo or Flame Princess. Dude, PB's a psychopath.
I'm trying to figure out who I would be. I'm too chaotic for Finn. And
Jake is chaos.
Jake is chaos, and he's also tired all the time, and he also loves eating and making
bacon pancakes.
Yeah. I think I'd be Jake.
You know who doesn't get enough screen time in that show?
Hmm.
Rainicorn.
It's true. I love Rainicorn.
Lady Rainicorn is so good, and she doesn't get nearly enough screen time. She's like there in the beginning, and then they just kind of write her off. They're like,
Yeah.
she had babies, she doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, which is sad.
Yeah. But I told Craig I wanted one quesadilla, except no, I didn't. I said, I want just one peanut butter square, but not until after they cool down. And
Your mom said to say I could have just one peanut butter square, but not till after they cool down.
he was making quesadillas, and he just went, what? I was like, I just want one quesadilla. Just one.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Pony Lords, jump for your lives!
Yeah, everything is okay. Pony Lords, jump for your lives.
I quote that episode more than any other episode. Like, put a little fence around it, throw a blanket over it. Like,
Put a little fence around it. Throw a blanket over it.
like I quote that episode all the time.
Did I ever tell you one of the names the lady comes to? So if I'm in my room and I don't want it to be known that I'm awake, I will just crack open my door and go, Rebecca!
Rebecca. I can like recite that whole thing.
And lady will just come busted into my room like she will full speed Tokyo drift around the corner.
That's so funny. It's always been Wankersham.
It's always been Wankersham.
I don't say it so much anymore, but I used to say regarding the temporal parasox. I used to say all the time, I can't not put these on.
I may have created a temporal parasox. I did. There it is, the parasox. I can't not put these on. No.
And then the one where the door opens, and then the one where Catbug is born.
Mhm.
I need a bath, some yogurt, and a place to go. Daddy!
Catbug. I need a bath.
Yeah.
Some yogurt.
Yeah.
And a place to go. Duty.
I love Catbug so much. As it
Best.
gave me his Catbug deck box,
That's
like
adorable.
for Magic, because I was like, I can't find it. And he's like, you can have it if you want. It's like, thank you so much.
He's never watched Adventure Time.
Really?
Yeah.
He loves Bravest Warriors.
I see, and like when we started talking again, I forgot that he loves Star Wars as much as he does.
Mm-hmm.
So when I found out that his cat's name was Finn, I was like, Adventure Time?
Finn the human?
No, Finn from Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's not dumb. I just think Finn from Adventure Time would have been better.
That is. So Billy's name is Billy,
Mhm.
and like go, Billy, like the
Excuse me.
legendary hero Billy.
Mhm.
And I wanted to get a second dog and name it Canyon. And Craig was like, "That's not a very good dog name." And I was
Anything's a good dog name.
like, "But Billy and Canyon are like this. They're like loves, and they love each other, and they're great."
I want to get 2 cats and name them roast beef.
Oh boy!
I have so many good cat names though. I want to name a cat Steven. But when I call it, I want to go, Steven!
And then you get a second cat and you name it Juliana! Juliana!
Yeah.
And then you get a hamster and name it
Still one of my favorite animated, like...
Stop! That one?
Hey guys, welcome back.
It's so good.
It really is. Well, you have anything else to add?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let us know who you relate to, what you think of our people, who you think we might relate to, just based on what you see of us. I feel like we don't keep very much
I feel like
inside.
I feel like if we were comparing ourselves to like Joe and Frank, you would be Joe and I would be Frank.
I would be Joe. Really?
I think it would flip flop.
I think it would vary.
But I think with the like, I miss you. Actually, I don't know. I feel like Craig would be Joe at that point.
Did you see the episode, like the crossover with Frank and Joe, and
Not yet.
the guys from Shits and Gigs?
Not yet. I'm almost there.
That's gonna bother me.
I'm subscribed to their Patreon.
The Shits and Gigs?
No. Basement Yard. And I started getting there, but then I ran across one of their episodes, and I was not that big of a fan.
I used to sit, like, at work, I would listen to Shits and Gigs and, like, have to stop and just cry at work. Oh my gosh. So I saw some of the things that turned 20, and I was like, I want to do random ones, like things that turned 13 this year. Shits and Gigs podcast. This is pissing me off. What are there? James and Fuhad.
Okay, I watched that one.
And I did not actually get to their page yet. I did just remember their names all of a sudden.
So Frankie Skins. I'm excited for that one, but this is where I'm at. And then there's that one, and then the Shits and Gigs one.
So the Shits and Gigs one, I watched the Shits and Gigs episode because I think they did two.
Oh, okay.
I think Basement Yard did one and Shits and Gigs did another one. And they did like Newlywed questions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was like, okay, so like it's really funny because they talked about like the I miss you thing. Mm-hmm. And James is like, yeah, I love you, man. And Fuhad and Joe are both like, no. And James and Frank are like, yeah, I love you, man.
Actually, you know who I think is the Joe to my Frank? Isaac.
That's weird. See, to me, well, I guess they take turns being the straight man, don't they?
Yeah. But depending on what it is, I'll tell Isaac I miss him, and I'll just be like, yeah. And then I'll move on to another song. He'll say it back most of the time, but there's every once in a while that he's like, anyway.
I'm like, okay, Star Wars.
Yeah. I keep telling him that we can watch Star Wars together, but he cannot get offended if I fall asleep. I don't know what it is. The second that the credits, like the opening credits start going, and like they get a little bit into the storyline, I'm gone.
Really?
Yeah, I can't control it. I don't mean to.
Before Craig and I were dating, we watched, I went over to his place and watched Indiana Jones.
That also puts me, I think it's George Lucas.
I think Indiana Jones is Steven Spielberg, but I think it's also George Lucas. I don't know.
We can ask the expert.
Directed by Steven Spielberg, produced by George Lucas.
There we go.
Thank
you, expert.
You're welcome.
But we watched. I think we were deciding we were going to watch all of them that day.
We did watch all
That's
of them that
hard.
day.
And at a certain point,
and this was before you were dating.
Yeah. At a certain point,
man, you liked him a lot.
And you know what? I didn't know.
Maybe
Maybe
it's just me. But unless I really liked a guy.
Yeah, everyone around me was like, you so like him, and I was like, oh my god, no I don't.
Ew. Right again? Ew.
We're just like really good friends.
We're just so close. He gets me, but in like a friend way.
I mean, yeah. Did I tell you that? Because Yeah. But no, we watched all of the Indiana Jones, and at a certain point, I was like, oh. And I looked over, and his eyes were closed, and I was like, oh shit! If he can go to sleep, I can go to sleep. and then I think he like nudged me and was like, "Are you watching?" And I was like, "That's some bullshit. You were asleep." But I didn't say that, but I was like, Yes, we should rewind it. And I was like, okay. But in my head, I was like, that's some bullshit. You were asleep first.
That is dedication. Not only to sit there and watch all of them in a day, but then to stay after he was like, let's rewind it.
Also, I think that was when he learned about my fear of ants.
It's a valid fear.
Because there's like gigantic ants that
yeah.
eat people in one of them. And I was like, oh my god! Like, this is the worst thing I can think of.
Hold on, is this the first time you were watching them?
Mm-hmm. I had never seen them before. What? What?
So you left your house. Your nice warm house, your nice cool house. I don't know what time of the year it was. But you left your nice comfy cozy house and you were like, I'm gonna go watch a movie series that I've never seen before with a friend that I like but I'm in denial of.
Yeah, what about it?
And then you were dedicated enough.
He rewound it. I did not rewind it. He did. Also, were we dating when we decided we were going to watch all the Star Wars movies?
I don't remember.
I don't think we were. Because I was like, we could do that in one day just like we did Indiana Jones. And you were like, no, we can't. Actually, that might have been when we were first dating. I was like, I've seen Star Wars one time. And he's like, Star Wars means a lot to me. And I was like, oh, it does? Let's watch all of them over a weekend. It'll be great. It was kind of hard to do. All Star Wars and nothing else. It was kind of difficult. What? Leave me alone.
Okay. Here's the thing. My last ex, like my real last ex, I was willing to, like, I was ready. I was head first. I should not have been. But that man made me watch football all Sunday on different screens. He had all the games on.
I like football.
I don't. So you know what I did? What? I put up with it. I put up with it for, like, 2 football seasons. And then I was like, you make me watch football all the fucking time. You know what we're gonna do? Sit your ass down. We're watching all the Twilight movies in one day.
Oh my god, that's so mean. I have not seen 3 or 4 or 4 and a half. I've seen the first 2 and was like, boo, I'm done.
And like, this was well into the relationship. And yet you like Craig enough to sit through it.
What about it?
You didn't even make him watch Twilight.
Hell no, I didn't make him watch Twilight. I haven't even watched Twilight. I'm not gonna make him watch it. I do think I made it. Okay, so you know what it is? I want to make him watch Fried Green Tomatoes. I'm like, I will watch all 18 Star Wars with you if you watch Fried.
18.
I don't fucking know.
How many is there?
I don't know.
Well, there's 9 right off the bat because there's 3 trilogies, and then there's Rogue One,
Solo.
That's 11. There's like 4 TV shows. He's gonna make me do that trade. He's gonna make me finish Andor and then watch Fried Green Tomatoes, and I'm gonna be like, "Fuck! Now I have to finish Andor."
Andor was so good.
It was after it got good after I gave up on it.
It was good before you gave up on it.
You are more dedicated in the beginning of a relationship than anyone I have ever.
Beginning? What are you talking about? We've been together like 8 years. This was like recently.
No, I'm talking about Indiana Jones.
We were not in a relationship.
You liked him a lot.
I did not know that.
I can watch one, and that includes nap during the.
I just wanted to spend time with my best good guy friend.
And you were secretly in love with.
Apparently.
I don't think I've ever liked someone.
Shut up. You're like, my cheeks hurt. You're making my cheeks hurt.
I can't even imagine liking someone enough.
Oh, you wouldn't watch all the Star Wars with Isaac.
Not in one day.
That's not possible. Would you watch 4 of them with him in one day? Would you watch one of the trilogies? Would you watch
If
3?
I could, if he would not judge me for napping, yes.
That doesn't count if you're napping.
I can't stay awake. I've tried.
All the comments are gonna be like, she's such a pick-me. She hung out with him and watched Indiana. She's gonna watch all of Star Wars because he wants her to. She's a pick-me. Shut up. I'm showing interest in the things my boyfriend likes.
I would try very, very, very hard to stay awake. But to this day, even watching it with my son, I cannot stay awake. And Jason means more to me than anything in the world.
I mean, so I've told Craig that I like Star Wars. I like Lord of the Rings, and I like Star Trek, and then I like Star Wars.
I like Star Wars after George Lucas had nothing to do with it.
Ooh, people are not gonna like that you just said that. People are gonna be so pissed.
It's one of the first things I told Isaac, and he was very cool about it. So, like, I don't care.
Green flag. Yeah, if you hate MJ now because she likes it after George Lucas left, leave a comment.
We shouldn't sit around watching fucking Indiana Jones all the I love you both, and I would spend a day with you doing a lot of things, but watching Indiana Jones is not one of them.
You are disrespectful. Get out. Ow, my cheeks hurt so much. I think we're gonna go ahead and go, because this is now just like pick on me time. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We love you.
Yeah.
Join the conversation. We'll read it out on the next episode.
If you call her a pick me, I will kill you. But other than that,
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.
bye.